Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. DStyle here. Check it out, guys. I want to come on here to kind of give this quick recap. You know, I gotta say, Coppinger. You always gotta kind of leave a little bit of leeway in terms of like, he's not always right. You know what I mean? But he came out and tweeted this out on Twitter recently. And the tweet says that the Charlo pay-per-view is at I think he said over 100,000. Okay, so I mean, there was some rumors coming out that I kind of dismissed. It's it's 67,000 or whatever other numbers people put out there. I didn't take that serious. But this is, I mean, it's over 100,000. I mean, I guess it's better than the 60,000 mark. But let's say it does, 150,000 when it's all said and done. That's me going way over the projected, at least from this report. That's still, I mean, it's we have to consider it, right? You got to kind of look at the whole thing. It was both the Charlo brothers. It was a double main event. It had a lot of fights. Regardless of, you could say, oh, but the middle of it, I didn't like it. Well, I mean, you didn't know that before you bought it, right? I bought it. I do my best to support the sport of boxing. I do my part to support it, right? So I bought the fight. I know Chief Funky bought the fight. I know several people that bought it, right, that contributed to it. So a couple things here. One, it's clear only hardcore boxing fans tuned in for this. There was no, I think it would have done the same. There might be, might have moved the needle a little bit, but I think the promotion did not get the attention of the masses, of the casual fans, of the sports fan, right? A couple of things went against it. Okay, I get that. From the NBA finals to the UFC event, but at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. Only hardcore boxing fans tuned in for this, and only a limited amount. And a lot of boxing fans steal the event. I mean, if we're honest, this does not count people that, for example, get VPNs and ordered it on Fight TV. It doesn't count that, right? This is only the Showtime pay-per-view event, at least from according to this report. That's what the numbers are according to this report. That's what we have. Over 100,000. I think it's clear to me the way they promoted it. I had my gripes with it. I had my, issues with it personally. I brought those out and I said them. So it's not me Monday morning quarterbacking. I didn't. If you're going to promote a fight, not fighters. And I think it's always the fights that sell. Especially at this level. If you're not a big monster, mega name, it's not about you. It's about the fights at that point. And I wasn't a fan of the posters. I wasn't a fan of the way they did it. Okay, these are very low numbers, to say the least. And we have to take it to the chin as boxing fans. I mean, that's the way it is. And go back, reevaluate. This whole thing. Yeah, St. Cruz, and I agree. I bought it too. You know what I mean? As a boxing fan, I knew the quality of the fights, but did the casual viewer know the quality of the fights? That they weren't selling the fights. I mean, they kind of mentioned them, but if you look at the posters, that's not what they were selling people. You know what I mean? I mean, look at the perception of boxing. It's there's always mismatches. It's always predetermined outcomes, right? That's the perception boxing has. And if they just saw, oh, look, they're just featuring these two brothers called the Charlo brothers, and they have the opponents in little letters in the bottom, then that's going to feed to that perception. They're going to say, yeah, I'll just watch something else. I'll go watch the UFC. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is, personally. I do believe the Tank, Leo Santa Cruz event's going to do better. I would hope so anyway. It is on Halloween. But by the time the good fights start, man, I mean, most grown men should already be indoors. Really, what are you gonna go do? Go trick or treating or what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you could watch the fight, and I do believe that that's a fight where you're gonna have that you know Santa Cruz and Tank Davis. I think they're gonna do a good job marketing it. I believe the closer we get to it, I would hope, and I think that fight will do at least 250,000. But those are the numbers we're looking at. A lot of people were telling me this pay per view was going to do like 500,000 or something. I thought that was insane. This went under what I thought. I thought it would do about 220,000 or something like that, but it didn't. I don't think this broke even. This may be the last time we ever see the Charlos in the same card. Maybe it wasn't the plan to continue having them on the same card anyway, but I think now I don't think they're going to pay the both Charlo brothers on the same night if it didn't sell. I mean, that's just the reality. Boxing fans are the only ones that watched it. Hardcore boxing fans. Many fight fans saw the UFC or didn't watch or just streamed it. I mean, period. That's the reality. So, yeah, Boxing Dialogue, the Charlos don't know. And I understand, like, sometimes I get that the strategy was let's introduce these people to these two brothers and all that, but I don't know. It's the marketing strategy just didn't hit home. It just didn't. All right. And the numbers were not that good. I mean, that's just the reality. And there is going to be people that are going to say that, look, let me first say this. There's going to be people celebrating this. Okay. While I understand people, why are you celebrating this? Why do you want it to fail? I mean, look, man, I mean, those people celebrating when the zone's having issues and rumors of the zone shutting down. And, what I mean? So it's a two-way street. I think more and more boxing fans need to practice what they preach, but like practice it all the way. You can't like get mad when people celebrate the failure of this pay-per-view, but then you celebrate when there's a failure somewhere else, right? Because it could point at shit too, right? At the end of the day, things always come full circle in boxing, always, no matter what it is. Okay, things always come full circle in anything in life, period. But in boxing, it always happens. I think it's safe to say that all the issues the zone is having, how low this pay-per-view sold, this is, what it is. And I think all boxing fans need to just take a moment to take a deep breath, okay? Because what I'm about to tell you could be a little depressing, okay? But there's light at the end of the tunnel, right? So take a deep breath. Boxing just isn't that popular anymore. People just got tired of getting swindled over the years. It's a shame because they weren't getting swindled with this one, but that's already the taste you left them in their mouth. They label it boxing, whatever it is. Most people don't care if it's PBC or Golden Boy or Top Rank or Matchroom. Most people don't give a fuck. Okay, all they know is that every time they bought a boxing pay-per-view, all they got was trash. All they know is that when they bought boxing, they were given one main event, a bunch of trash fights, and more than half of the time, the main event didn't live up to it. That's all it is, right? You also have a mass of people that don't watch boxing, don't care about boxing. That's just the reality. But what's the light at the end of the tunnel? The light at the end of the tunnel is that now these promoters are going to have to work harder and actually promote to get the names out there. You see, like, hopefully this is a piece of humble pie to everybody, okay? Because, yeah, Top Rank wasn't doing good, showing B-level and C-level fights on ESPN, okay? But nobody's doing good. right? Nobody's doing good. A fight to me that means a lot to boxing, and they're doing it the right way, is Teofimo Lopez versus Vasil Lomachenko. That fight's going to be on ESPN, not on pay-per-view. You don't have to buy it. All you have to do is have a cable package. That's it. If you can't find a way to watch it on ESPN and you're streaming it, all right, while that is your prerogative, I mean, my God, do you not understand how vital your viewership is to the sport? Okay. Because you're not getting charged a lot of money for this. Okay. If you can't find a way to watch this shit, I don't even know what to tell you. That fight will tell us everything. All right. Look, man, if Teofimo Lopez versus Vasil Lomachenko has low ratings on ESPN, that is going to be a really bad look for boxing for many reasons. All right. That will definitely tell us that, man, maybe it's too late. Maybe people have just moved on and don't want anything to do with the sport. Now, I believe it's going to do good. I believe the numbers will do well because it's free. Okay. Because I just think that ESPN is going to promote it. That fight to me is going to do over 2 million viewers. Okay. On ESPN. I hope it does even more than that. I really do. I don't know if it will or won't, but that's what I'm hoping. All right. But let me tell you something, bro. If Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez does like 500,000 or 800,000 viewers, that's going to be a depressing fucking day. And it's going to tell us a lot about our sport, the sport we love. And we got a bunch of people out here on YouTube bickering one another, bitching about Aram and bitching about the zone and bitching about De La Hoya and bitching about Al Heyman and all this shit. But you know what's going on here? The sports is sinking. I don't think it's going to do that low numbers. I just don't. All right. But that's going to tell us everything. If that fight was on pay-per-view, it would do just as bad as the Charlo pay-per-view. Trust me. There just isn't buzz with boxing right now. There just isn't. All right. It's the way it is. Torches haven't been passed, really. Who's passed the torch? So, like, that's the problem we have right now. Well, Edmundo Gutierrez, I mean, I'm not saying you're not saying a good point, but you got to do something about that. You know what I mean? Just work smarter. Just be more cerebral with how you go about things. Now, what I will say is, let's say it only did 125,000, right? That is 125,000, I believe, happy customers, right? Those 125,000 people, I would believe most of them felt they got their money's worth. Okay. So if the Charles fight again, at least that's the net. That's the lowest it's going to go. Because you're building return customers, and maybe you could build upon that. I just don't think this should be on pay-per-view. I just don't. Put the Charlos on regular. Put them on FS1, man. You know what I mean? Put them on Fox. But put them on, I'm not even a fan of putting fights on Showtime anymore. I think we're past the days of premium television. I don't think Showtime nor HBO are what they used to be. I just don't. I don't even think premium television is a thing. All it is a network with far less viewers. That's all it is. All right. Fox were promoted the shit out of this card. Showtime's promoting it on Showtime and on their social network, but it's not that big. Right? Showtime Sports has an abysmal amount of followers, and like Ryan Garcia's got more followers. Okay, like give me a fucking break. Like at the end of the day, big events like this, like Showtime, if anything, man, they should have like up and coming fighters and stuff like that. But I think the days of premium television are over. Okay. They're just over. Like the model isn't working anymore. It just isn't. And St. Cruz said something. It's time for them to work together. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it is. Time to start working together. I'm tired of the nonsense. A good friend of mine once said this. Okay, Scott Hill from Hailstorm Sports. And it's stuck with me ever since. Bob Arum and Don King hated one another. They like each other. They hated each other's guts. But they loved money more than they hated each other. Okay? They loved money more. And you know what we should love as boxing fans? We should love boxing more than our little fucking bickering over here. We got all this fucking little bickering going on. Okay? All this little kid bickering going on. PBC's the best, or Top Rank's the best, or I'm with the Bob Father, and no, I'm with De La Hoya, and like all this shit, dude. Like all that shit. Don't you guys understand that none of that matters? None of that matters. None of it. It's time to just get fights done. That's it. Boxing's at a crossroads right now. That's where it's at. It's been like, I just feel like sometimes boxing thinks like, man, we're entitled to the spot. Like we're always going to be around. We're entitled to it, right? Now you ain't entitled to shit on this planet. You're entitled to nothing. You understand? You're entitled to nothing. No one on this planet is here to give you shit or give you anything. Boxing isn't entitled to anything. If boxing wants to be king, if boxing wants to be relevant, boxing has to work at being relevant. Enough of the nonsense. Enough of the bullshit. Okay? Enough of the business talk. Obviously, the business isn't working, is it? It's a failing business. So, at the end of the day, no one is making money in boxing right now. PBC just lost money with this event, if these numbers are true. Just lost money. All right? Who the fuck's making money? But don't worry, the promoters got money. Just because they got money, it doesn't mean that it's going to be giving money away. People have other shit they can invest money in. They don't have to invest it in boxing. Yes, the zone, the investors of the zone have a lot of money. They do. But they're not in the business of losing money. Like who the fuck is boxing to fucking like be entitled to all this money and all this investment? Like, I'm glad that people are investing into boxing, but my God, we got to return that investment. Right? We have to show. The sport of boxing needs to show that it's worth investing in boxing. No, but you guys, you want to keep bickering. Go ahead. Go keep bickering. Okay? You keep going over there, keep bickering, keep calling each other out about hypocrisies and da. Look, at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. None of it's going to matter if people just stop watching boxing. None of it's going to matter. Do you understand? What does it matter? Like if who you like better and who promotes better? Like what does it matter if boxing's gone and nobody's watching it? If a tree falls in the middle of the forest, does it make a noise? If nobody's watching this shit, well, what does it fucking matter? You want to keep bickering instead of demanding like we should be doing as fight fans? What do we want to do? This is a time to reflect. It is lacking star power. Absolutely, A-Stone. What's up, Boxing Dialogue? What's up, Big Dog Willie? You guys want to keep bickering? Because, yes, right now, I guarantee you, right now, you have individuals that have been wanting PBC to fail and Al Heyman to fail. Like, they're all celebrating this, right? And then whenever the zone, as soon as, word got out that, they don't want to spend that much money anymore, or they're like, they want to cut Canelo's pay, and, and rumors came out that the zone is in debt, right? And they're losing money. Well, what happened? Well, a lot of, let's be honest. People were celebrating, and the ones celebrating the PBC thing now were then saying that, how can you possibly be happy about this? And it hurts the sport. And, but I mean, everybody's knowing it. Okay. You have people hoping Top Rank fails. You have people hoping PBC fails. You got people hoping that the zone fails. You got all these people hoping all these things. Like, it's more worried about being right and, and all this other shit. Okay. And I'm not watching boxing to be, morally right about shit. Right. I'm watching boxing because I love the sport. I want to see the motherfuckers fight each other. That's it. At the end of the day, that's all I want. At the end of the day, that should be what we all want. At the end of the day. For all you guys that are pro fighter, right? Oh, I'm pro fighter. I want the fighters to get all they can get. Give AB his $10 million. Yeah, you guys really believe boxing just has $10 million to give Adrian Broner? When it can't even, with a stat card like this, can't even do 200,000 buys. You really think boxing is in that position right now? Well, being pro fighter and the fighters making all that money ain't going to mean shit when there's no sport. Right? When every billionaire on earth finds out, yeah, you don't want to invest in boxing. All they're going to do is leech your fucking money, take all your money, and they're not even going to want to fight each other. They're going to give you headaches. They're going to give you all these reasons why they shouldn't fight each other. Fuck that sport. I'm going to go invest my money somewhere else. I went on YouTube and they're telling me that I got the money. Why can't I just pay them? Fuck that shit. I'm out. That's the reality. That's the truth. Nobody wins with this. Okay? Nobody wins. Everybody outside of this boxing bubble is all laughing at us. Okay? Do you understand? They're laughing. They're like, man, those guys can't even get 100,000 buys. What the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? Everybody outside the boxing bubble is laughing at boxing. All right? That's all they're doing. The UFC, MMA fans are laughing at us. Like, they tune into our videos and they're wondering, what the fuck are these guys talking about? These guys are still talking about, like, dumb shit over and over again. Same shit every day. Right? These guys are talking about the same fight that hasn't happened in 3 years. Meanwhile, we're watching the fights we want over here. Those guys are bickering about dumb shit. Well, they see that nobody gives a fuck about any of it. That's how they're looking at us right now. That's just the reality. I'm just giving it to you guys how it is. If you guys want to keep bickering and celebrating when one side or the other fails, be my guest, but it's not going to mean anything. Okay? If you think it's a good thing, okay, that the day comes that ESPN says, you know what, this is not worth it paying these fighters $2 million when, like, They don't even get ratings. Like nobody tunes in. And FS1 says, you know what? It's just not worth it. And Showtime says, yeah, we're just going to go do our own thing. And there's no app with billionaires on it saying, you know what? Yeah, we'll invest into boxing. Once all that shit's done, what the fuck do we got? Then what? All that bickering didn't mean shit. You guys understand me? Boxing has a big problem. Okay? We have a lot of bickering. That's all we're doing, really. I mean, like when I look around YouTube, it's all bickering. It's all, my promoter's better than yours. And what are these dudes? Your daddies or some shit or what? Like, what's going on over here? This is not good, guys. There's nothing good about this. All right. On one hand, yes, I could tell you, you can't get all that mad at people celebrating this when, some of y'all were celebrating when it was bad news about the zone. Okay. But I think this is just me speaking. All of y'all gotta fucking just cut it out. That's what I think. All right. Like this is getting to a point right now where I'm watching the fall of my sport before my very eyes. We couldn't be in the middle of history right now. Okay. We can be in the middle of it. I'm not saying we are. I do think that COVID has a lot to do with this. I do think boxing can get back into the swing of things. I do believe it'll bounce back. I do believe boxing will have a resurrection. And when I say I'm talking about, consistently just switching the narrative and its perception. But right now we're in a valley, man. We're in a deep valley. The biggest name in the sport is stuck in litigation right now. All right. In the middle of a lawsuit with the zone. And I don't know if it's hit people or not, but because these investors are saying that the biggest name in boxing is not worth the investment. They're slapping boxing in the face. Okay. They don't even realize that the very thing they're investing on, like they are, slapping it across the face. The sport, it's a slap to the sport. But what happens? We have boxing fans that get happy about that because they just don't fucking like Canelo. Okay? Oh, see, he ain't the face of boxing. See, they're trying to, cancel his contract. Ha ha. The zone is failing. Like, whatever it is. No. You guys don't understand. The boxing's failing. Okay? Boxing is showing a bunch of investors that it ain't fucking worth to invest in. Okay? For whatever reason. For whatever reason. It doesn't matter. Okay? And now we got this. It's not the numbers I wanted, but they're abysmal numbers. At the end of the day. It is time for change. Like there is times when, people need to drop their arm. Like there's a lot of infighting here in this whole boxing community, right? A lot of people more focused on wanting to be right, than wanting the sport to prosper. All right. Period. If it was up to me, right? Someone just get the fuck out of the sport, okay? Or if they're going to be serious about it, be serious about it. All right. I think Showtime's ran its course personally, but if they want to put money in boxing, then hey, but it's time to start making fights happen. Okay, it's time to be consistent about it because there's nothing more powerful than the word of mouth, right? If somebody asks me, "Hey, I heard boxing out of card. The UFC one was okay, but how was the boxing one?" And I could tell, oh, it was great. There was a lot of great fights in it, yada yada yada, right? So, like, there's power in that. How we're gonna do it, I'm not sure. And where we go, it's gonna just depend. It's gonna depend on the buzz that Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez have. If that fight gets a lot of viewership and it's a good fight, like here's the problem right now. Okay, what I felt was good outside of that stupid intermission in the middle. Okay, about the Charlo card is that they gave us 6 fights. Okay, if you put on 6 fights, more than likely at least 2 or 3 of them are going to be good. All right. And when people watch good boxing, that sticks in their head. They'll forgive you for a boring fight if another one was exciting. Okay? They figured, oh, a fight was a hell of a fight. Okay? That was a really good fight. That shit reminded me of some of like the fights on Boxing After Dark and shit like that. Right? That was a hell of a fight. So, like, to me, like, that's what you got to do. Like, we have to start giving a consistent product. Boxing does. Like, nothing ever irritated me more than people that said, "Oh, no, but boxing's a business. Why would a promoter give you 5 good fights when only one fight's selling, and you could put the other 5 on 5 different dates, and you can make more money that way?" Like fans talking like that, all right, has been one of the biggest problems this sport fucking has. You understand me? Don King used to give us some good cards because Don King understood that you didn't just have to sell something to somebody. You have to keep them happy. Okay? Don King knew, Mike Tyson might knock a motherfucker out in the second round or first round. Right? He knew that. So he gave you Chavez and he gave you Chrissy Martin. You know what I mean? He gave you like 5 world title fights, like on the same card. Because he knew, like, oh man, the fight ended in the second round. Hey, don't worry about it. Look, Christy Martin went at it with that chick for a good 8 rounds. He got all bloodied up. Chavez worked the body, dismantled that dude in a 4 or 5 round fight. You had a fight of the year candidate over here. You had this other great knockout over here. And you know what that did? That created return customers. All right. So while I'm not happy with the numbers they did, I still stand by what I said. I'd rather have, a few happy customers than a bunch of angry ones. I mean, boxing's that sport that, Floyd came out and bragged about how his fight with Conor McGregor was the biggest heist in boxing history. Like, he bragged about it. Well, people don't want that. People don't want to feel robbed. Okay, give ultimatums. You're going to fight or you're going to go to the hospital anyway. Yeah. Time to put on better fights. And you know what an underrated card is? Estrada against Cuadras in Mexico. That's going to be hell. That's going to be a war. That's a rematch. Okay. You got Chocolatito in the undercard. Now, some people saying, it's going to be, so like Those are going to be some good fights. Okay. Now it's on the zone. I know there's people like, I do not support the zone. Come on, man. Like, we got to stop these like pointless boycotts and all this other shit, dude. Okay. Like, just because somebody's a piece of shit, I'm not gonna like, dude, like, enough. All right. It's time to watch the sport. It's time to follow the sport. It's time to like, look at all the divisions. Stop PBC. Stop acting like Crawford isn't a champion. Okay, boxing fans, stop. Celebrating that too. Yeah, why should we count the WBO? WBO ain't shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. As soon as the PBC fighter gets a WBO belt, they're gonna put it on there. All right. Everybody knows there's 4 major sanctioning bodies. Doesn't mean I like it, but that's the truth. Everybody knows Crawford's a welterweight champion. Stop. Okay? The fact that we have people out here saying, oh, yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, like, why should the PBC put Crawford on there? They don't promote Crawford. Like we got to stop that shit. Seriously. All right? That shit needs to stop. But these styles don't tell us what to do. I ain't telling any. Let me tell you something. I know I'm worded in it like I'm telling you what to do, but it's basically saying you got to stop because all you're doing is adding confusion. Okay, that's all you're doing. You're just adding to the bickering. Like, we just don't have. You know what's fun? We don't have a unified front when it comes to boxing. As fans, you always have a segment of fans that will support bullshit because they support that said promoter, right? You guys aren't fans, bro. You're cheerleaders, all right? If you're a cheerleader, right, that's what cheerleaders do. They cheer for the home team no matter what, all right? That's what y'all do. Are you fans or are you cheerleaders? What are you? I'm a fan of the sport. That's what I am. Floyd needs to be sent to room with no mirrors, windows, or doors, and not be allowed to until boxing takes a turn for the better. That's another thing. Floyd has nothing better to do but talk about himself, right? Floyd, why are you talking about yourself being the greatest? And then why are they having Shannon Sharp? Man. Look, dude. Floyd. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to do a video on that Floyd Shannon Sharp thing. All right. But let me give you a little short thing here. Let me tell you this. Floyd Mayweather, like, at first, I thought he was just saying it like, oh, I'm TBE for market. Like, at first, that's what I thought. But, yo, I think he actually believes like these are good arguments. How many former world champions? How many world champions did Sugar Ray Robinson beat? Sometimes I wonder, serious question. Seriously. Does Floyd know that there was like less belts and like less divisions back then? Does he know that? I don't think Floyd knows that. And I know people are going to be like, no, come on. Everybody knows that. I don't know about that. I don't know if Floyd knows that. Because you know what's funny? When he was on a Fight Hype interview and he said, no, to be undisputed, you have to have 3 of the belts, not 4, right? Now, what Floyd is referring to, or what I would assume he's referring to was when there was only the IBF or WBA, WBC, IBF, right? WBO came after that. That's what I'm assuming. And Floyd turned pro in the 90s when WBO still wasn't that big. Right? It became big throughout his career, right? But Floyd was kind of more involved with the WBC, later the IBF at welterweight. So he did have like a loyalty in a way to the WBC. Floyd did. But the reality is, the funny part is that he didn't have the WBO was one of the 3 belts that he had. It wasn't even those original 3, right? So that's number one. But I don't I don't think Floyd knows. I don't think he's gone that. I know that's crazy. Come on, Floyd's like one of the best boxers of all time. How would he not know that? Look, either he's being obviously and arrogantly, disingenuous. Okay, because if you look at the Charlo Sharp thing, I'm gonna go in on it tomorrow. If I don't have time during the day, if Storm is cool with it, I might talk about it on this chop session. Okay, if he's cool with it, I don't know. He has other plans, but the reality is, dude. I don't think he knows. Like, I believe Roger knew. I believe like Floyd Sr. probably knows. I don't think Floyd Mayweather knows. I just don't. Like, how was Ali supposed to beat 25 world champions? I just want you to sit back and think about that, right? Aside from the former world champions he beat before he won a title from a champion, there's only so many he could beat, right? Like, there's only so many because only so many men became world champion at the time, especially at heavyweight, where there's no other weight, there's no other place to go. You know what I mean? Humans are only so big. Like, we don't have like super heavyweight, or not now anyway. Knock on wood. Let me knock on wood quick. Okay. There we go. Knocked on wood quick. All right. I had to knock on. We don't have like 20 other divisions above Ali. Ali literally would have to lose a bunch of times and reclaim the title like 20 times to beat 25 world champions. This is ridiculous, dude. Right? And then, like, oh my God. All right, cool. I'll do it on the chop session. I'll do it on the chop session. We'll leave it for the chop session. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, are you for real? Like, how can Shannon Sharp, and I don't think he knows either. That's the problem. Like, dude, this is one of the reasons, like, whenever somebody brings up basketball, like, I have my opinions about basketball, right? I have my thoughts and stuff, but I always say, yo, I'm just a casual fan, bro. I don't, because, hardcore basketball fans will pick it up really quick. They'll know. I'll probably say something that either don't make sense or sound very ignorant or outdated or something. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So I say, yeah, I don't know a lot about it. I'm just a Laker fan. I just want LeBron to win the title because I'm a Laker fan. You know what I mean? That's it. And the Kings suck. Sorry, G-Funk. That's it. That's all I know. You know what I mean? I'm not. And to me, Michael Jordan is the greatest ever because I grew up watching Michael Jordan. Like, you know what I mean? I was a big fan of Jordan. Like, it's just that's all it is. Okay, I'm not here to break down the stats for you, or that's not me. But Shannon Sharp is not the guy to have a debate with Floyd about who's the best boxer of all time. Okay, that's not the guy to debate. That's not the guy that should represent Sugar Ray Robinson, right? Because Floyd said, I beat more world champions than Sugar Ray Robinson. There wasn't even 25 quote unquote champions to beat. Right? This is one of the dumbest things ever. There's like 5 world champions now per division, meaning the number 5 ranked contender is equivalent to a fucking your typical IBF title holder, your typical WBO, WBC title holder. Okay, like a dude ranked like number 12 would be equivalent to a quote unquote regular WBA champion. You know how many of those motherfuckers Robinson beat? The fuck out of here, dude. But anyways, guys, it's getting late, and that's all I got to say. Oh man, come on, Chief Funky. Ain't nobody believe that shit, bro. Anyway, Donald Trump tested positive. No, he didn't. Get out of here, Big Dog Willie. Big Dog was always joking around, bro. Hey, Big Dog, you're like the boy that cried wolf, bro. You've been joking around way too much. You know what I mean? So if that's true, you can't get mad at me for not believing you. Ain't no way Trump tested positive, bro. I think he's in quarantine. I think that's what it is, right? Anyways, guys. Well, that's it. This is DStyle Boxing. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.